Hi.
Hello, it's the Ego Review again. Is your mic on?
Yeah, it should be. Yeah, it's on.
Okay, just checking. Right. We are now playing 7 Days of Skeptic.
Hooray!
To my mind, the weakest of the Chzo Mythos.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the best. So I was looking forward to this.
Not really.
No, I'm not. Everything's sad.
There's some extra stuff,
yeah,
but let's just
press on it.
Yeah, let's press start game because the extra stuff has spoilers in it, and this is your fresh perspective. So the thing to take from that is that it is the year 2385.
Oh, okay.
You know how most horror films series eventually give up and go into space? I did that kind of quickly.
To be fair, Jason X is actually a really good game, a really good movie. Because it's sort of goofy, it doesn't take itself seriously.
Yeah.
There's a great scene when they're in like a holographic crystal lake.
Yeah, I like that scene.
Yeah, he's got a sleeping bag full of a girl tied to a tree and holding the other sleeping bag and just hitting one with the other. And there's just this noise. And it's very silly.
So anyway, this is 5 Days of Stranger in space.
So this is the protagonist the same guy from...
Well, that would be weird, wouldn't it? Because it's the 24th century now.
Oh, 24th. I thought you said 2040. Okay. Got that there. I don't know. Maybe he got magic, and now he's alive forever. Ooh, wow, look at that.
Yeah.
Some fucking cutscene shit.
It's a spaceship with sad music over it. A lot of Event Horizon influence in all this.
Good old Event Horizon.
So what's going on here is that we're on a spaceship in the future, and we're scouting the outer regions of the known universe.
Cool beans. That is a ugly as fuck ship.
Well, I think that's part of the reason why this is probably one of the weaker entries in the series.
Ugly as fuck ship design?
It's kind of ugly, yeah. I mean...
I'm just making fun of it. Is it that big a deal? I mean, is this the entire, Is this the view from which the game takes place?
Not from outside the ship, no.
Yeah, well, there we go. So we won't be seeing much of...
Well, the interiors are kind of samey, I think. Kind of grey, very gunmetal, kind of shitty, you know?
Looks like someone's stuck, like, Star Trek engines on, like, a piece
nacelles.
of old Soviet brutalism.
They're not engines, they're nacelles. Well, they do make the point in the plot that this is an old, recommissioned ship.
Yeah. Oh, okay, well, so there you go. You got a little... in-story explanation.
Because the interior of the ship, just like with DeFoe Manor, will not terribly reflect the outside of the ship terribly well.
I think that kind of... Like, in a ship, that can kind of make sense. Like, it's less of a stretch for me to understand that a spaceship might have a bunch of identical rooms as opposed to a big stately manor. Yeah, and all the unattributed space could just be full of components. Yeah. Like behind-the-scenes stuff. Infrastructure. You need that shit. It's not just a bubble with a bunch of living spaces in it. That shit doesn't work.
Here's an incredibly yellow-headed man. Bing! Talking to a man with a black shiny head. It's the future. That's why they're wearing really dingy Star Trek uniforms.
I also noticed they walked up at a sensible rate. So you managed to tackle that issue.
Yeah, this was after the engine got fixed.
No more north and southward gallop, which I'll admit I missed slightly.
Talk. So this was the counselor and the ship's physician. It's a small crew, as befits a game of this genre. This is sort of like, a history runs in cycles thing. A group of people trapped in an enclosed environment. A small group of people.
I think it's good.
So now, now you're in control.
Oh.
There's been a bit of an engine shift. Left click will only walk to things. You right click and then click what you want to do to the thing you right clicked on.
Eyes, hands and mouth and keycard.
Eyes, mouth and keycard. Eyes, hands and mouth and keycard. Mouth and keyboard and crowbar, rope and key and face.
Finish the fuck at the moment. Okay, I will eyeball my certificates.
So we are Dr. Jonathan Somerset, the ship's counselor.
Okay, see, I thought we were going to be the blonde guy.
No.
So that was like already like a twist for me. He left the room and then I'm like, here.
Aha, switcheroo.
Some nuts shit. Alright, can I look at my key card? Oh, there we are. Yeah, cool.
Yes, you can right click on stuff to look at it.
Okay.
You can even try to look at your eyes, I think.
Alright, well that I gotta say. Alright, so you can only...
Yeah, a little bit dry, I'm afraid.
No, this is fair, because it also gives you a clue as to what the functionality of these items is.
It's a bit of an engine issue. Should have been able to cancel out by clicking outside the window, I think.
Yeah, that...
Only realising that in retrospect. By the way, the doctor's name was Dr. William Taylor, which is the same surname as the very yellow-headed Simone Taylor from 5 Days a Stranger.
Oh, so is that a deliberate connection?
Yeah, basically.
Ah, okay.
You'll want to look out for a number of recurring surnames in this series. Now we've got a whole 6 people instead of the 5 we had last time, one of which you saw only once.
Shit the fucking bed. Well, at least, look at that. There's some character variety. The graphics have been, sort of general character art is...
Well, this is me being kind of lazy with design. Because you'll find that most of the characters are basically the same character
Body,
sprite with some slight variations. Like the women have tits, and that's about it. And a kind of...
that's about all women have in the first place.
a kind of token effort to make the hips look broader. So, they're scouting the edge of space, and they've found a mysterious object floating there. Like about the size of a escape pod or a locker.
So some kind of obelisk.
Yes, it's an obelisk. It's a monolith. They're going to become the Star Children and get enrolled in Star Daycare.
I'd just clobber someone with a jawbone. Hi-ya! Crack.
Blah-de-blah-de-blah-de-blah. So this is establishing that the black-haired lady is a by-the-book sort of officer. The brown-haired lady is a logician. They're like a statistics type. The captain is a sort of plays by their own rules, sort of close to retirement type.
He just doesn't care anymore.
The doctor and the counselor we know about. The brown-haired guy is the ship's engineer, and he's kind of the Joker of the crew. This is again me...
Just like Joker in Mass Effect.
Yes, rather clumsily trying to create distinct personalities again. But at least I'm trying, at whatever age I am.
Yeah.
And all the rooms are based on the same background template again. I think there's a change in colour as you go from floor to floor.
Just trying is exactly enough to have your own Kickstarter or Patreon.
So John needs to be reminded of the details of his own job, yeah?
There are some jobs I've had where that could have been helpful.
Qualified psychologist must be on hand for possible first contact scenarios.
That's a good statement. I don't know what you said. Hello, I'm a psychologist.
Someone's running a motorbike engine outside. Can you hear that, listeners? It's rather annoying, isn't it?
Rum, 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 rum.
But we're not going to close the windows because it's a bit hot in here.
Yeah, a tad stuffy as well.
Right.
Oh, okay. Well,
I think the plot will continue if you return to your office. Until then, you can just explore the ship and get a feel for the place and the characters, if you like.
Yeah, I might have a little...
A little wander.
A little poke about. Yeah, I think that's necessary, because, you got a conference room. I wonder if there's anybody left in the conference room.
We've just been in there.
I know. Oh, they all left when I was having that conversation.
Yes. I guess they disappeared through the air vents.
Yeah. Or just teleporters or something, probably.
Or you and the captain went out last, and we didn't see that.
Hey, Serena. How's it hanging?
Serena is the helmswoman. Now we're going to do the counselor thing.
I want to try and convince her she was molested. False memories.
This is a little bit expository, isn't it? This is kind of everything I hate about dialogues in video games these days. It's always like going down a list of topics and going da da da, blah da da, do do do, da 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 da, do 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 do, da 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 da.
Are there any games you think have done it in a more natural kind of way? Because I remember
it's hard to say. I mean, I guess the system the Mass Effect uses is a little bit more organic. Not so much though. You just sort of direct the conversation rather than just go back to the topic list and go this and then tell us about this. Tell me more about this. Tell me more about that. Tell me more about your sweating gonads.
What do you know about voodoo?
Earlier,
what can you tell me about the Four Hundun?
It's like there's that conversation in Star Wars: The Phantom Menace that sounds like it's coming from a dialogue tree. They say, Master Qui-Gon, Yoda mentioned midichlorians. I've been wondering, what are midichlorians? I'm glad you asked that, Anakin.
Oh, they're just the core element of this horribly warped
Here we are, now. Trying to look busy. Anything you'd like to talk to me about? Just kind of a third wheel at the moment on this spaceship where there's only 6 people.
Yeah.
They felt they had to have a special counselor there.
Like, imagine how useless you'd feel. Like, there's no way you would not feel mostly as... Are you sad? No, I'm actually okay. Are you sure? Are you, like, really...
Yeah.
You sure you are...
This is like internalizing the Councillor Troy argument. What the fuck was Councillor Troy doing on the bridge all that time? He's sitting there saying stuff that was patently bloody obvious. I sense he's being dishonest with his captain. Do ya?
Well, I think... Technically, because she was, like, mildly sort of empathic or telepathic, or... I think, was it
She was
empathic?
half beta Z. That meant she could sense emotions.
Right. So that, I could understand that having kind of a use, I just don't think the writers ever did a decent job of expressing it. Because, yeah, it would just be something like her restating a clearly obvious thing because they've hired some, you know, typically, like, third-rate theatre actor to...
Go into the other door.
To, be the villain for that week.
Yeah. Yes, use the panel. There's someone in there, you rude bastard. Some people noticed that the last game used a few sound effects I nicked from Half-Life. This game will very much continue that tradition. You know, some people were even trying to defend me there. They were saying, no, it's probably just from a sound effects library that Valve also used. No, it wasn't. I nicked them from Half-Life. Thief!
There you go. Stop just defending people on the internet because you like them.
Yeah.
Yahtzee's a thief.
Some of us are absolute bastards.
Ah. I can't wait to see them defend you now.
But
they'll try.
But here's the advanced lesson, people of the internet. You can still like a person's work if they're a bastard. That's something a lot of people don't seem to realize.
It's that worship factor of geeks. It's like, if they like something, it has to be the A1 perfect example of it ever.
Yeah. You just asked him that. But you're not paying attention, are you?
Honestly, no. I thought it'd go away if I click on it, so I just figured it was whatever the next thing I had to click on would be.
I guess that's fair enough. That's how I usually go down dialogue trees. Yeah, he hopes it'll be an alien artifact to put the perfect punctuation on the end of a brilliant career.
Aliens! Well, I hope it's an alien artifact. I'm just playing the game. I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah.
John's kind of my author surrogate there, saying pessimism's smarter, at least you can't get disappointed.
You're either right or pleasantly surprised. And, you know, hey, that's...
So if you pick the second option, we can have like a bit of an exposition dump on the personalities I came up with for all the crew members.
Okay, so I thought I might explore a little more before I...
Well, if you'd rather get a bit of showing rather than telling going on, we can just talk to them, find out what their personalities are like.
I'm going to go for a... Okay, do I use the elevator or do I use a sign? It looks like I use the elevator.
Yes, you use the elevator. And stop muttering, you. If you've got,
okay, so these are the... Oh, that's
if you've
nice.
got a thought, sound it out, for God's sake. Hey, it's the logical lady, who, if memory serves, is sort of obnoxiously logical. She's like Spock in that respect.
The very rare full-tilt female autistic.
And I'd like to thank the Photoshop smallest paintbrush option and my left mouse button for their aid in creating this background art.
I'm gonna put my mouth on you.
Oh, nice one, John, you're in there. Smooth. Yeah, she's like a fucking robot.
Good for her. It's a good thing.
And guess that we're kind of awkward around her.
Because he's like a weird emotion baby and can't work out the...
Yes, he's a psychiatrist. This is his thing. Well, psychologist. Psychiatrist's a different thing. You need to go through med school to be a psychiatrist, not a psychologist.
Yeah, psychologists are mostly research, I think, if memory serves.
Psychiatrists can prescribe medicine, psychologists can't. That's another difference.
There's the frustration of talking to a robot. Okay.
I want it to be nothing important.
Okay, I obviously
Federation
passed this fucking command in the wrong fucking way.
Yeah, she's by the book as well. Well, if I hope we won't have to update our records. That's all that matters.
That's a very practical attitude.
Can we make out now? How are you?
Oh, this will be good.
Do you need some oil in your hinges? Or joints, rather. She's not a robot bread bin.
Probably a robot toaster. Alright, well, that was riveting.
Yep, that character will be the one we'll grow to love more than any other in this game. That was sarcasm.
I'm just going to call it Ladytron 5000. Okay, Ops. Was Ops where I was?
Yeah, that's
Okay,
where
so that was
the
Ops.
navigation and the bridges and stuff.
Communal deck.
Communal deck is where the fun stuff is.
This is where I'll get to meet Neelix.
possibly. Hey, it's the games room. Fun fact, I designed the layout of the ship before I designed any puzzles, and there is now no reason to go in this room, ever, throughout this entire game.
Really?
Yeah. I thought it would be a thing it would make sense to have, but there's... I think one day, one of the characters is here that you don't need to talk to.
Oh, so is this another... It's set out in days?
What was the title of this game again, Gabriel?
Well, 7 Days of Skeptic. I thought sometimes it's just a title.
Well, I already said this is 5 Days of Stranger in space. Same format.
Oh, okay. There's a vent. Ah.
It was pointed out to me in a Let's Play on the Something Awful forums that this game actually depicts 8 days, but the first one isn't counted on screen, so it's like day 0.
No, that's fair.
That's what I said.
This is kind of like an intro. It's more of a mezzanine. Okay. Hey, Billiam.
Here we are in the sick bay with all those medical futons lying on the floor there.
I can't wait for my future medical futons. You know,
let's just ask everyone how they're feeling. That's what a counsellor's job entails, doesn't it?
Nothing would make me more uncomfortable than being stuck on a ship with a person who just goes around all day asking me how I feel. Like, I would probably snap in about 3 days of that shit.
Yeah.
How are you feeling? Fucking the same as yesterday, go away.
I should remake this game from the perspective of someone else. Every 5 minutes, this guy walks in the room and goes, how are you feeling now? I'm doing
7 days a fucking counselor.
I'm doing a line graph for everyone. I remember not to click outside the window this time, because last time, when there was a brief glimpse of my desktop, there was all this fucking analysis of all the icons people saw.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That was great.
That was up there.
Dude, at least you didn't have weird child porn pop up like that one dude on Twitch did.
Yeah. It's lucky there wasn't anything too compromising there.
There was a zip file called Evil, which delighted me. We know what that is.
That was Age of Evil, you dumbasses.
But just, there's a novelty to you having just Evil on your...
This is your office where you just were.
On your desktop.
Hey, those windows don't make sense. I mean, I've just realised those windows should look out into sickbay. Man, I was thick. So this is the residential area where everyone's quarters are.
Okie dokie. What just happened?
I want to look at the doors so you know who's allowed to be in there.
I just thought I'd poke about and try and do stuff.
So that's
there's my door. No, that's the other doctor.
That's the physician's door.
Okay.
That's
me.
That's you and Adam. He's the kooky one.
Wait, we share a room?
Yeah. It's not that big a ship.
God, that'd suck.
Someone got to get a room to themselves, and they decided it was the physician. The captain has their own special room on the top floor, of course.
Oh, okay.
He has to have his ready room near the bridge in case some shit goes down.
So he's ready.
Yes. Yeah, it's like standard hotel stuff. Yeah, use your keycard, smart guy. Man, you're fucked if you lose that, aren't you?
Yeah. Although, really, I mean, where are you going to lose it?
I don't know. Down the space toilet? They get suctiony.
Clothes. Okay.
Yeah, just various identical uniforms. Yeah, that boring.
Oh, that's been fucking riveting.
So there's a sort of Star Trek-style colour scheme going on with your badges. I mean, you got a blue one. I think Adam has a green one because he's engineering. Captain's got a red one, of course, because he's command. So does the first officer. I think the other doctor's also got a blue one, red psi, and all that. Not sure what the helmsman's colour was.
It's just a picture of a steering wheel.
Oh yeah, I put in a room with a food dispenser because after the first game everyone was like, oh, what was everyone eating for the last 5 days? Just from the salt bag.
I was going to say probably they weren't. Like, they're probably in some kind of weird mystical time lock situation. I mean, it's fucking, there was ghosts and shit. Like, fucking whining over analyzers.
Well, I think it's famously said if you're doing fantasy, or like contemporary fantasy or science fiction, you're allowed to break one rule and everything else just sort of comes from that. You can't just have everything be weird and say, oh, it's just because it's sci-fi fantasy. Like, for example, if you're doing sci-fi, your one rule can be that light speed travel is now possible.
Yeah.
And everything else has to be, like, realistic. This is the brig where prisoners are put.
Again, that's something that would unnerve me slightly on a ship with, like, 6 people.
Well, what if, they
one of them
find...
goes...
Or what if they get boarded? Or one of them goes mad.
I suppose I hadn't thought about it.
I mean, they got a counsellor. Clearly there's been some problems with
What
people
happens if the counsellor goes mad, declares everybody else insane, puts them in the
then
brig?
I guess you just gotta blow the ship up and send the black box back to headquarters.
Send it back to Weyland-Yutani. Holy shit. Alright.
Hey, it's the cargo
Bigger than I
bay.
thought.
I guess this is the bulk of the ship's mass.
Yeah.
Hey, let's open the doors out into space. That could never go wrong.
Operations booth for external grappling claws.
Which I don't think you ever use.
That's a shame, because I was immediately like, oh. Okay, it's doing that thing again.
Well, you can't go down anyway.
Oh, isn't that where I came in?
No, when you came from the left.
Oh, okay.
Ah, you did it again!
Fucking...
I just stopped trusting you with the mouse.
Go.
Maybe I should just hold the mouse and you just tell me what to do. That might be expedient.
Alright, so I went back to my office. You said if I went to my office, the story would continue.
Yes. Go back to your office and use the desk.
Oh, okay, use it.
To work. Because that's how you work, right? You put your hands on a desk.
And just stare.
That is
Stare outside.
Sit on a desk. Hey, I'm working. It's magic.
I'm adult. I go to work.
Yeah, let's go back to where you just were.
Oh, you guys.
They brought the thing on board, which I'm sure will be a fine, lovely find that will do nothing bad.
It's not filled with space Satan. It's filled with space Satan, isn't it?
Yes, of course it's filled with space Satan. This game wouldn't go anywhere otherwise.
I thought it might be filled with a lot of fun things we get to play with. Yeah, I was just here, you fucking dick.
Well, we have to be on hand because this is a possible first contact scenario, apparently. It's kind of like Sphere, where Dustin Hoffman's character has to be there because he wrote a sort of guide on first contact scenarios. Okay, there's an unidentified object.
I find that kind of fascinating, because like anyone can write a guide on first contact scenarios. Like, what's the basis of expertise on that?
I guess psychology would help. There you go.
I mean, maybe dealing, like... It's interesting watching the video of, like, Papua New Guinean first contact stuff. That's kind of neat.
So there's no hazard indication from any of the external sensors, apparently.
That's good.
Oh, but despite her thorough analysis, Logic Lady didn't notice the plaque on the side of the box that we just spotted.
We've scanned it with everything known to man.
Hey, this actually has some continuity with the last game.
Ah, so they launched his corpse into space. And a little drawing of a hat.
I wonder who could have done that.
Senor Fedora.
Who the hell signs their name with a hat, indeed, Mr. Gilkenny?
I love, like, all this stuff taking place in the world before the Fedora cataclysm. Like, it's just...
Anyway, he's called Trilby.
Yeah, pointing out that difference doesn't help.
Suppose not.
If anything, it makes it fucking worse. It's like when, like, someone who's sexually aroused by teenagers tries to separate that from pedophilia.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a pedophile, I'm a dealophile. It's like, yeah.
A phebophile. I mean, I don't know what the real word is.
What is a dealophile? Oh, okay. I'm gonna look that up.
I think you made that up.
No, I know that is something. No, that's adolescent. That's right. Because I saw it on SVU.
Surely they're the same thing.
Probably a million little subcategories.
So the question I probably don't want you to ask at this point is how the hell Trilby the cat burglar in the early 21st century managed to gather the clout to shoot something into space.
Let's just say he was friends with Elon Musk.
Actually, this will sort of be explained in later games in the series, when we return to Trilby's time period in the next game in the Chzo Mythos.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. You don't need to... Okay, so I might have missed something because I was laughing at you talking about, like, specific pedophilias, but why have they just left it?
Well, they decided not to open it because the plaque indicates that it's human remains and there's an ethical issue.
Okie dokie. That's fair.
So they're just going to, like, take it back.
Just going to leave it on the floor there.
Oop, and the nightmares start.
That'd be kind of rad. Imagine being a ghost and you're on Earth, and then suddenly you're in space and it's like 4 centuries later.
Holy shit! I don't even want to murder people now. This is great.
Look at this! I'm just going to take over the captain and explore. This is so cool. Get to be in space.
Turn around, look around.
Alright, so I'm going to pop down to engineering.
Of course you are.
And explore. Or should I go to ops?
Better go to one of those places. Oh no! Denied! Now we start with the claustrophobia bit. That's the two ladies share those quarters.
Alright, let's go. Poking panels.
Look at me being all diverse with a whole 2 female characters this time.
That ought to hold those little SOBs. Alright. Oh, okay.
Hey, there's someone we know. Shepherd, Rex.
Friend, human.
So yes, the power seems to be down. Yeah. Adam is the engineer. Maybe bear that in mind, because he's not going to live up to his title much.
Okay, so a thing that directly involves literally his job, and he's just sort of sitting in... He's not, like, rewiring or crawling through Jeffrey's tubes or...
Well, maybe there's a reason for that. Yeah. Maybe he knows something you don't. Maybe he's afraid of something. He's an afraid little bunny.
I am your mum. On this ship, I am your fucking mum, alright?
Yeah. Say my name and call me mum.
Call me mummy.
Who's your mummy? Just for expedience sake, take the Continental. Oh, too late. I think you're going to have to eat both now. I don't think they'll let you have a second one. Go on, get it down your neck. Mr.
It's there, okay.
Mr. clicks everything like a fucking monkey.
I just thought it was fluff. I was like, oh, I'll have a full English. What a joke.
Yeah, look, he's eating. He's intaking nutrients. Are you satisfied? Fucking picky continuity types.
Wine, fucking wine. Only interesting thing you have in your day is complaining about shit on the internet.
Also space.
Okay, so Continental?
Yes.
Alrighty.
Get that shit down you. Have some croissants and wine.
I suppose if you have a full English and a Continental, you've just had like a full European.
He must have a fast metabolism, old John.
Or he's just a guts.
Yeah, he hates the butter, so he's having his croissants dry.
Okay, so wait, now I've got butter.
Yeah, you know what to do.
Okay, put butter on atom.
Mummy's home! Or not.
Alright, so I'm not going to butter the hatch. That's a shame.
Go back to your quarters. There was a thing in there you didn't get. With your keycard. That was another Half-Life sound effect. Hope everyone enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, I did recognize that. Boop. I think the toilet
Notice
doors.
him doing his sort of Jedi mind trick on the thing there. Because I couldn't... Because it would look weird if you did the crouch down reach animation to pick something off a desk. It would seem like it was a very low desk.
It would be very weird.
Easy as that. Hey Adam, nice empty shaft here. Come on and do some engineering.
Maybe the elevator has emotional problems and I can talk it into doing its job again.
Yeah.
That's,
actually, maybe that's why they had Councillor Troy on the ship, because the computer was turning sentient every other day.
It just cried all the time. Alright, I feel like I'll die if I touch that. But, you know what? Fuck it.
Well, I'll let you know if there's a death risk so you can save. And there's significantly more death risk in this game than there was in 5 days, I'm afraid.
Which one of them is save?
The one with the arrow leading into the disc. Hey, floppy disks, remember those?
No, says the mostly millennial audience.
It's funny how the save icon in most software is still a floppy disk.
Yeah, it's one of those interesting examples where, like...
Let's smear butter all over the electrified thing. That'll help, I'm sure. Huh, it's a machete with blood on it. Hey, do we know anyone who uses a machete?
Yeah, that's my psychology machete.
Maybe Jason's on this shit. That should be working. I don't know what to tell you. Walk onto the very rightmost pixel of the screen. There we go.
Fucking Jesus.
I'm a good game designer.
I'm a good boy.
Mummy says so. Hey, check out this bloody knife I found. Do you want it down your neck?
How do you know
Oh,
that?
look at Mr. College Boy over here. Actually, it's a machete.
He'll be the one guy in every fucking sci-fi show that studied, like, 20th century history at uni.
Yeah, you know what it was about Star Trek? They were all just space hipsters. They were like, we only like 20th century media, I'm afraid.
Tom fucking Paris.
Stuff you've probably never heard of.
Hit him with a fucking brick in a sock.
Picard and his fucking, whatever his name was, Private Eye fantasies. No one was interested in 22nd century drama, was it? I think there is one incident that I noticed. I picked up on it while I was watching through Deep Space Nine, but it's the only incident of in-universe science fiction existing in Star Trek.
Huh.
Yeah, there's this bit in one of Garak and Bashir's meetings where Garak gives Bashir a hollow novel set in the future about a Cardassian Klingon war. And funnily enough, later on in the series, there is a Cardassian Klingon war. Hey, that doesn't look right.
Didn't they sort of...
Didn't we leave this closed? Still, time to steal everything inside it. Oh, there's nothing there.
No.
What a mystery. You already tried to get in there.
Not allowed.
I'm not allowed. I'm not allowed. Mummy says I can't.
I'm just a psychologist. I'm not allowed to touch the things.
Yeah.
Oh, God, fisting, damn it.
Well, at least it's not showing the desktop this time.
I think it's because normally if it was full screen, you know, there wouldn't be that issue. I could just drag it all the way to the left and it'd be fine.
Well, we can't do it full screen because I need to make sure it's recording properly.
No, I'm just... there's a reason for these shenanigans.
And when you click on the recording window itself, you get this weird Hall of Mirrors effect. You want me to record myself? It's like saying to a computer, this statement is false.
Built with paradox-absorbing crumple
Hey, here's
science.
some people we know. And the captain's disappeared.
Where?
Black dude dies first.
There can be only none.
Shame, I'll miss his distinguished greying temples.
I do like, I'm gonna have a little, some youth on the top, some power and command at the bottom.
It's
like an age mullet.
Yeah, it's like a mullet, yeah. Youth at the top, party at the back. Yeah, now it's out. Now because we're the only guy who doesn't have anything to do, it's our job.
Yeah. Actual problems are happening, so be a deer and run around and fetch shit for us.
Yeah, at least, John is speaking for the audience here and saying that Adam's acting weird by not being the engineer.
Way to go, Fembot 5000.
Thank you, Fembot 5000, who's the new captain, I guess.
Honestly, good. I trust the Fembot 5000.
I think you have to talk to Adam again.
Yeah, I was gonna go say hello to old Addy, who's being a bit of a dick.
Yes.
Oh, wait, that's right. It's in the
Remember the eateries in the residential deck, because people get up and want their breakfast straight away. People get snarky if they can't have their cup of joe. You're on the same deck. You didn't even go anywhere. You went in the elevator, then came straight out. What are you doing?
I'm being possessed by a haunted machete.
You want to drink that coffee a bit faster. Fade in, fade out means we went to a different place.
Alright, Adam, stop being a fucking wanker.
You got some full supple lips on the inventory screen, I must say. How are you feeling now? Same as he said before. Yeah, we've got some new things to tell him now, though.
Yeah.
The box is open. The box you brought aboard, remember that?
The box. The box.
The box. We have such sights to show you.
Is there a game of...
I don't think there is.
I think no, I know there's a few...
There's a few Clive Barker games.
Yeah.
He made Clive Barker's Undying and Clive Barker's Jericho by Clive Barker. But he never made a Hellraiser game. I think perhaps because, he actually took an interest in the creation of the game's stories, so they didn't need to adapt anything.
Fair enough.
They said, let's make a Clive Barker thing. And he was like, sure, why not?
I really want Pinhead to be in Mortal Kombat.
Well, Scorpion kind of already does that shit, doesn't he? The old hook on the end of a chain thing.
Yeah, a little bit.
Did he give you something?
No, I keep thinking...
I think he's given you the all clear so you can, do an EVA and see what's wrong with the ship. Oh yeah, he gave you the airlock pass. Because this is the councillor's job now.
Well, I was clicking the bottom thing, thinking that was end conversation.
Well, what I think does make sense is that when you have a small crew, it would make sense for all of them to be as trained in as much of ship operations as possible, just in case, they needed an extra pair of hands for whatever reason.
So everybody else can be a psychologist, rendering me completely useless.
I will justify that.
I mean, even Councillor Troy had some kind of other skill, didn't she?
Well, the one time she piloted the ship in Star Trek Generations, she fucking crashed the motherfucker.
Alright, maybe not then.
I think one time she was disguised as a Romulan.
Just added some shit to her forehead slightly.
Reasons. It's always just adding shit to the forehead. The forehead is the most liquid part of the humanoid creature in the universe.
Well, I mean, when you think about it, most things that, most mammal life on Earth is just a bunch of four-legged shit with different, forehead bits.
Save the game.
Okay.
Because it's quite easy to accidentally suck yourself out into space without protection, as I recall.
Okay, so closet, I'm going to open that first.
Of course, there's a monster in it.
Is there?
No, there wasn't.
Oh. It looked like an EVA suit. There we go. Okay.
Well, we didn't just lighten the uniform sprite and put a helmet on top of it. We certainly did not.
Clip. Okay, that's
the clip you use to not die when you're outside the ship.
Alright.
Oh yeah, and there's a breathing sound, which was the breathing sound I nicked from Half-Life. But it's supposed to evoke 2001: A Space Odyssey. Whenever they're EVA, all you can hear is breathing, because that's how it works.
Hey, boop. Boop.
Walk outside. Yeah, I think I added that because a lot of people were accidentally falling off by not clipping themselves to things.
And you don't have, magic gravity boots?
Of course not.
Alright. Proper safety.
Well, this looks fine and above board. I'm not even sure that would happen in a vacuum. Blood would stain something. There's not supposed to be any gravity here.
I think I have moved over there, but...
Maybe because you're not floating upwards, maybe there is a degree of artificial gravity that sort of extends around the ship, not just the exterior. Whoops! You're supposed to clip to the other rail, you fool! Let's do that all over again then. Still, I will defend that puzzle. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, it's important to teach the children about proper space safety.
Then start climbing up the top of the ship. Unless you're firmly attached to it. Because if you just sort of push yourself off, you'll just keep on going, won't you?
Oh, I see. There is a vertical pole there. All right.
Yes. Okay. You fool.
I am a fool, a foolish fool. Safety rail. There we go.
Unclip from the other one first.
I can't.
There, now we're observing all precautions. Beep. And there's even a little sprite to indicate that we're attached. Yeah, this isn't the engineer. What the hell are we doing here?
There you go. So
yeah, he took standard training. It's all explained. It's all covered. No plot holes.
Take that, you internet naysayers.
Not yet, anyway.
Nay, you say. Yeah, he's being really fucking weird. Come on, you're a psychologist. He's being fucking strange.
We're just going to see what's wrong with the radio masts, and then we'll come right back. I cannot imagine what could be wrong with them. I presume all this blood coming from them is coming... Oh. Well, I guess the captain's dead then.
Fatality! I wonder what's... nothing. I'm not wearing a fucking clip now.
Well, maybe the artificial gravity is keeping you in place, as I was saying. Because you're on top of it now. Yeah, everyone just sort of had a kip after that. Phew!
So there was no holy shit, the captain's dead. It's like,
phew, that was a long day. Anyway, I like to think that Somerset just came in and said, Right, I'll explain what I saw in the morning. In the meantime, I think we should all sleep on it.
That is great. That's literally what happened. They're having their morning meeting, and he didn't tell them until now.
So the captain went outside to escape from an attacker, and apparently the attacker followed him and killed him with a machete, and then stuck the machete in the elevator shaft.
As opposed to winging it off into empty space where nobody would have ever found it.
So Logic Lady was the last person to see him last night.
I put the blame on Adam. Stop being weird.
Whoops, now the accusations start.
Nope, baseless accusations ahoy. Adam is being strange.
See, where I think this game sort of falls down, where 5 Days a Stranger succeeded, is that in 5 days you're a stranger to the scenario, and the audience is discovering it alongside Trilby. Everyone's a stranger that we're just meeting anew. But in this game, it's all about people who already know each other. They've already been around each other for a long time, so the exposition comes across a little more clunky, and we feel a little less involved in the plot. This is my, retrospective analysis as a game critic.
You're psychologizing your own game. We have to go deeper.
The psychology is coming from inside the brain. Okay, now Logic Lady's suggesting we act on the assumption that everyone's innocent. What a smart plan.
Which is logically not the case because he didn't accidentally do that to himself.
Well, maybe he did. Maybe he touched the machete and felt like he had to get some air.
He was outside minding his own business. The space police saw a black guy.
And accidentally tripped and fell onto a bed of spikes.
Well, fell onto a machete.
There's Adam throwing suspicion away from himself. As like a fucking fastball.
I hope Adam's weirdness is like a red herring.
Okay, the next objective is to move the captain's corpse off the radio mast so that we can use the communicators again. And Adam's not going to do it because he's a twat. And it's up to us again.
Adam, what do you do here? So far, I've got 2 jobs and you have 0, you bumblefuck.
Well, he's sort of petrified with fear.
Slap that man. Space slap. That'll get him back to his job.
Yeah, we're just going to sit on our ass. Have fun with whatever you're doing.
Those are some full lips.
Why won't you come out to play?
Yeah.
Come on, let's play. Come on, we can use the captain's corpse as a skipping rope.
We can throw him and see how far he goes.
Oh, really? You think that? Nice to see that counselling degree paying for itself.
Oh, no.
Not picking at me. I hate all these characters in retrospect. Barry was alright, and he's dead.
The only character who wasn't a butthole. Well, I like, the Fembot 5000. I think she's cool.
You like her?
Yeah.
Her staring into the middle distance?
Good on, yeah. The middle distance is a great place. People,
Yeah, I think people
shit
don't
on the
give the middle distance enough credit.
Yeah, everyone's like, I'll look at that, horizon, and, or look at this thing that's nice and close to me.
There's all sorts of great stuff on the middle distance. Like,
it's where you can meet yourself.
Like, if you were meeting someone coming in on a train, you would first see them in the middle distance. Who are you to judge me?
Literally the ship fucking psychologist.
Besides the qualified fucking counselor on board. Sorry.
That's what I'm here to do. I'm going to go write in my fucking book the files that I have on all of you and the High Command read.
Yeah, we're going to passive-aggressively write notes about you.
Oh, so many notes.
Okay, you know the job.
Adam, jerk, question mark.
Back on EVA. Are you feeling the claustrophobic fear yet?
No.
What's that film that's quite similar to this? Where a ship's damaged by an asteroid and a bunch of people sort of kill each other in a growing atmosphere of paranoia.
Sunshine?
No, it's quite an older film. God, that's going to bother me. Like, the captain runs away on the only escape pod and leaves the rest of them to die with diminishing oxygen, and one of the characters has a dog that gets killed by one of the other characters when they go mad. Someone will know. And now I've said that, half the comments will know. Okay, if you know, just take a look at the comments, make sure no one hasn't said before, because I don't want half the fucking comments saying the title of that film, you assholes. Phew. I think we've
Just like
put the kibosh on that.
No.
Save,
Like the Beatrix.
save for my own peace of mind.
Anyway.
Just type a new name and then save as a separate file.
Oh, okay.
If you feel you must have a new file.
That might be prudent.
Nuts and figs.
Nuts and figs.
You've given us your muesli recipe now.
Yeah. It's a rich breakfast.
Oats, touch of honey.
Hmm.
Do you prefer the toasted muesli or the not toasted muesli?
I generally don't eat a lot of muesli
Oh, I have
because it usually
muesli
has stuff that I'm allergic to in it.
I have muesli every morning. I have it with my yogurt.
It is a good choice for breakfast. Okie dokie.
Mysteries abound.
Secrets. He's gone for a walk.
So,
Wait, you could withdraw the mask? Yeah, that probably would have gotten the body off.
I guess maybe he might have been blocking them, like lodged there or something. Or maybe they'd want to, if they did that, they wouldn't be able to recover the body. Ah. Man, they're really respectful of dead bodies on this ship. That's twice now.
To be fair, if someone got, like, stabbed on a spaceship, like you'd want the body. Like, you'd need to find that shit out.
Wait, plot.
Clonk. Thump.
Clonk Thump.
You aren't registered crew members.
Hey, put Clonk and Thump back on.
I'll get you for this, Clonk and Thump.
Damn it, that's the second time Clonk and Thump have made a mockery of me.
And there will not be a third.
Do you want to, like, actually not right now, but it is possible to go down as well. Well, you don't have to. There's nothing there at the moment. But, you know,
I will not then.
There is a point when you will be going there.
Boop, here I go. I'll get that switch.
Don't push the other switch first, remember?
Oh.
Close one door, then the other. That's how airlocks work.
Boop. And then I go to the closet and get changed, because I can't go walking around in my space gear. That's just silly.
Gonna get back in the closet with Adam and our butter. Sorry, that's beneath me.
That's that sparkling wit that gave us such amazing gay rape jokes from your early games.
What kind of bothers me is that the resolution of the character sprites is sort of like an uneven number of pixels. So if you look at him when he's at full size, like looking face onto the camera, the right's his head is like slightly lopsided. It's slightly to the left of his shoulders and slightly towards the left, not in the dead center.
Wonky face.
Like, I face immediately down and you'll see.
Okay, so that was in comms. So is that the top floor? That's ops deck?
Yeah, ops deck. Like she was sitting at the bridge, remember?
Yeah, that's what I thought. You're not Clunk.
Where's Lady? Man, everyone's made themselves suspicious.
Yeah, like, yeah, I saw her while I was outside the fucking ship in space.
Abruptly. Ooh. Another $10 word from Mr. Fancy Pants University Education.
I like the idea of, like, space travel being around for so long that it's mostly done by, like, rednecks and hillbillies and shit. It's just like,
yeah,
look at you with your fucking degree.
Well, you're basically describing Alien there, aren't you?
There was also a movie called Space Truckers.
Yeah, I know. Wasn't that by Stuart Gordon?
I'll take your word for it.
Because I've been watching a lot of Stuart Gordon films lately. I was looking up his filmography, and I'm pretty sure Space Truckers was on there.
I like the square pigs. Something in Space Truckers that just amused the hell out of me.
Square pig in a round Heil.
Heil? Yeah, the captain's dead. Alright, I wasn't listening to Robotron 5000.
Neither was I. I can't remember what you have to do now.
Call a Gyno Blaster.
Why would you do
Cervixor. Alright, so I can't go in there. I'll just talk to her again. Lips.
Yeah, start buttering them up early. Getting those good graces.
Butter. Yeah.
Counselor can be the first officer, right?
That would be a weird ship to serve on.
So your first officer isn't a rank, it's a title.
No, is it?
Yeah, like Riker's job was first officer, but his title was commander.
Number one.
And that was his
Grow a beard.
That was his affectionate nickname. Number one. make it so.
You ever seen that website Scroll Down to Riker?
Yes, that's fun.
How about plain old vanilla sex?
I think Angela's suspicious of us. Yes, ask for orders. That would help.
Yeah, come on.
Yes. The locker is old news. I'm sure it's absolutely unconnected to the fact that someone decided to start murdering people last night.
It's the only thing that's occurred on this ship.
I think Angela is also, like Adam, sort of in denial, but she's sort of putting the mask of logic on it.
Mask of logic.
This is me retroactively...
explaining everything.
Yeah.
No, that's not what I meant.
No, it wasn't me.
And
Yeah, and I'd kicked it out into space, right in the arse.
Boot.
I think I got 20 points.
Yeah. That's great. Got him between the uprights.
Please learn to apply logic. Oh, you bitch! I hate this lady now.
Damn your logical fallopian tubes. What excellent job description.
If you want to tickle around with the vacuum, that's up to you as well.
That's great. What do I do on this ship? Well, look after the people and just whatever the fuck you feel like, really.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't tread on anyone else's toes, I suppose.
Adam sitting alone in a room with a bloody machete, just, he's happy.
Yeah, just staring on it.
Why'd you move Barry's body, Adam? Why did you move it? I know you moved it, you fucking little weirdo.
I wasn't sure what to do, but I remembered now.
Yes, I do, you strange little prick. Confess.
Confess! Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Confess.
You will get the slightly uncomfortable chair.
No, I fucking believe you, you creepy little fucking...
Yeah.
Just you and a bloody machete.
I've just been staring at that machete, and the more I stare at it, the more I hear that weird monolith sound from 2001: A Space Odyssey. The moment you leave, it's going to start up again. Then there'll be a slow zoom into my horrified face, probably.
I've been trying to find that just as like a music file, like just that fucking tune. And just, I don't know, play it persistently to bug the shit out of my housemates. Oh yeah, that's right, that's the fun room of uselessness.
And the doctor's sort of in absentia.
Alright. What are you up to, Doc?
Nothing going on in your office.
Going on in here.
Man, you got the nicest chairs on the whole fucking ship.
Yeah, you have to have good chairs for counseling.
Doesn't mean you get one as well, though.
That was me being a little bit tricky. See,
yeah, you sort of blagged them from the quartermaster before the ship left Earth, didn't you?
They were like, do you need 2 comfy chairs? And I was like, oh, maybe 3, just in case I want to do group counseling. And I never do group counseling.
William's not coming out of his room. He's a big old fraidy cat. Thank you, Mr. Motorbike. We know your engine is very nice.
Do you? Do you really? Okay, let's see if I can get into his locker.
No, you can't, because it needs a keycard that you ain't got.
Use a space keycard. Alright, that doesn't work. Poop.
Stop muttering. Still. Again.
Okay, let's see what's in here. Nothing...
use the food machine, actually. Go back and use the food machine.
Of course.
Because you're so very hungry.
Yeah. I can tell by all the tummy growling.
Can't you see how hungry you are?
I'm hungry. I'm a tummy. Put food into my luscious lips.
Oh, okay, then don't. Man, I thought that was it, but I was wrong.
Alright.
Some
FAQ you are, Croshaw.
Damn it. See, I was less proud of this game, so I didn't play it as much. So I can't remember what to do.
Oh, fuck it. There's a finite amount of space. I'll walk around it until we run into something. That's just generally the...
just look for a walk through quickly.
Oh, there goes my phone.
Oh, just don't leave it on my iPad then.
Let's find somebody else's playthrough of this.
Yeah, find a better
Play it over ours.
Someone who's smarter than us.
We'll just commentate somebody else's playthrough. Tell them where they went wrong.
Let's see if someone actually wrote a game FAQ for this.
Of course they will.
Okay. Different days. Skeptic. Walk through. Oh, that was a Wikipedia page.
Alright.
Do you want to fill on the commentary there?
Don't really have it. I'm trying to... Okay, the engine, the reactor core seems to be pumping along fine. I suppose I should look at it just in case it's doing anything interesting. Nope. Alrighty, so nothing there. But in that room, it's just the brig. I have to find somebody. Maybe, okay, it's gotta be something to do with William, maybe. Trying to get him out of that, there's no one up there. Couldn't get in there. No. Damn you, motorcycle, you shut your word hole.
Oh, okay. I remember now.
What?
Shut up, motorbike.
Shut up, damn it.
You do actually have to go back outside the ship and go to the lower portion that we didn't go to earlier. I didn't think we did. Turns out we do.
No.
Apologize for this slip from the usual ego review high standard you expect, listeners. I'm going to close that fucking window.
You bunch of noisy buttholes. Your motorcycle sucks and no women will ever love you. Alright, back in we go.
I have a ritual. Every time like one of those really noisy motorbikes drive past when I'm with someone, I always look in the direction they went in and go, man, I'm filled with respect for that guy.
Aren't you just? It's so amazing to be able
Clearly,
to...
that's a guy one doesn't tussle with.
It must be so convenient to just, you know, be able to drive around on the only thing about your personality.
Must be nice being a douche.
Colossal ass.
You notice how much space there is for inventory objects in that window?
Yeah.
Most of that we don't use.
Spectacular.
Should probably have redesigned it once the game was finished.
Okay, we're down here. Okay, so are we on the safety rail? Yeah, we must be.
We still are. Okay. And there's a thing.
A keyring. That's great. Alright, I don't think I can get that thing, can I?
You can... Well, yeah.
Well, it doesn't...
You found it. There isn't even a look at dialogue. Okay, save again now, actually. I'll just save over figs. No one's impressed by your random food item names.
Oh, there we are.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I guess we better very, very carefully detach ourselves. Yeah, that's something the captain dropped. It's the key to his quarters.
Alright.
Let's see if you can puzzle this one out.
Exhaust. Oh.
Whoops, walked too far. Dumbass.
I love the little graphic for drifting through space. Like, oh no, what a development.
The pain of it all. You haven't unclipped yourself. No, you needed to unclip yourself before you would have been able to grab the thing.
Yeah. I thought maybe, like, okay, I might have to get the engines to do something.
Not presently. Don't get too random with your clicks. Use an object to recover it. No, not the tiny wrenches. Because gravity means that will work.
Okay, there we go.
Because it has a little hook on it, you see.
I see.
Just like a little fishing thing.
I did not expect that. Because it looked like it was getting buffered about by the engines, so I was like, oh, maybe if I go in and, like I don't know, kick the engine and make it go, whoa.
Wait, weren't the engines supposed to be off?
Yes.
Maybe it's still, like, exhausting all the stuff it hasn't gone around to exhausting yet.
Well, they're always just kind of glowing in science fiction.
Maybe the reactor powering the ship is still on. It's just the thrusters aren't on. And that's just the output for the power generator. No plot holes, no worries.
All wrapped up in a neat little package.
Put your pants back on, and let's rummage through the captain's pants.
I love going through other people's things, adventure games.
Man, it's lucky that airlock automatically pressurizes.
Shh.
Huh, I seem to remember being able to breathe now.
Why does my face hurt?
Why are all my fluids exiting my body through every orifice?
Bye-bye, blood. Bye-bye.
We hardly knew you. So if you, sealed yourself in cling film, do you think you'd, held your breath, do you think you'd just be able to survive in space for as long as you held your breath?
Possibly? It depends on how good a seal.
And
or maybe it'll just, vacuum pack around you. I don't know. See, I don't understand much
maybe
about...
all the stuff exiting your body would blast out with the kind of energy that would break through a cling film wrap.
Depends on what kind of cling film. If you had one that really locked in the freshness, you'd be okay.
Oh yeah, this is like getting to see inside the staff room at school.
Teachers are real people.
So we found a book.
Alright,
Let's see if we can mess with the other shit. Hey, that sounds like a useful thing to have. I think that's what Angela was looking for. Classical novels, because everyone's Picard, aren't they? Everyone loves that classical shit.
Yeah, really, I'm really into early 21st century. Okay.
Hey, it's a personal network interface, just like the one in Dreamweb. I think that was a direct reference.
Huh. This screen. Email, access email. I wonder what the news. I wonder what's going on in the news today. Alright,
if you go out in the news today.
Fantastic.
Yeah, should probably have coded it so the enter button worked.
Menu, back to main menu.
Check your email. Check your
email.
email.
I was going to do that. I was just exploring potential options. Okay.
Check today's date, actually.
Date.
And that'll change from day to day. Yeah, fucking programming, bitch. Nah, that was the wrong command.
Oh, fiddlestick.
Look out for a number of recurring surnames in this series. Now we've got a whole 6 people instead of the 5 we had last time, one of which you saw only once.
Shit the fucking bed. Oh, at least, look at that. There's some character variety. The graphics have been, sort of general character art is...
Well, this is me being kind of lazy with design. Because you'll find that most of the characters are basically the same character sprite with some slight variations. Like the women have tits, and that's about it. And a kind of...
that's about all women have in the first place.
A kind of token effort to make the hips look broader. So, they're scouting the edge of space, and they've found a mysterious object floating there. Like about the size of a escape pod or a locker.
So some kind of obelisk.
Yes, it's an obelisk. It's a monolith. They're going to become the Star Children and get enrolled in Star Daycare.
I'd just clobber someone with a jawbone. Hi-ya! Crack.
Blah-de-blah-de-blah-de-blah. So this is establishing that the black-haired lady is a by-the-book sort of officer. The brown-haired lady is a logician. They're like a statistics type. The captain is a sort of plays by their own rules, sort of close to retirement type.
He just doesn't care anymore.
The doctor and the counselor we know about. The brown-haired guy is the ship's engineer, and he's kind of the Joker of the crew. This is again me...
Just like Joker in Mass Effect.
Yes, rather clumsily trying to create distinct personalities again. But at least I'm trying, at whatever age I am.
Yeah.
And all the rooms are based on the same background template again. I think there's a change in colour as you go from floor to floor.
Just trying is exactly enough to have your own Kickstarter or Patreon.
So John needs to be reminded of the details of his own job, yeah?
There are some jobs I've had where that could have been helpful.
Qualified psychologist must be on hand for possible first contact scenarios.
That's a good statement. I don't know what you said. Hello, I'm a psychologist.
Someone's running a motorbike engine outside. Can you hear that, listeners? It's rather annoying, isn't it?
Rum, 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 rum.
But we're not going to close the windows because it's a bit hot in here.
Yeah, a tad stuffy as well.
Right.
Look at them. Oh, okay. Well,
I think the plot will continue if you return to your office. Until then, you can just explore the ship and get a feel for the place and the characters, if you like.
Yeah, I might have a little
wander.
A little poke about. Yeah, I think that's necessary because you got a conference room. I wonder if there's anybody left in the conference room.
We've just been in there.
I know. Oh, they all left when I was having that conversation.
Yes. I guess they disappeared through the air vents.
Yeah. Or just teleporters or something, probably.
Or you and the captain went out last and we didn't see that.
Hey, Serena. How's it hanging?
Serena is the helmswoman. Now we're going to do the counselor thing.
I want to try and convince her she was molested. False memories.
This is a little bit expository, isn't it? This is kind of everything I hate about dialogues in video games these days. It's always like going down a list of topics and then going da da da, la da da, da da da. Universe.
Cool beans. That is a ugly as fuck ship.
Well, I think that's part of the reason why this is probably one of the weaker entries in the series.
Ugly as fuck ship design?
It's kind of ugly, yeah. I mean...
I'm just making fun of it. Is it that big a deal? I mean, is this the entire, is this the view from which the game takes place?
Not from outside the ship, no.
Yeah, well, there we go. So we won't be seeing much of...
Well, the interiors are kind of samey, I think. Kind of grey, very gunmetal, kind of shitty, you know?
Looks like someone's stuck... like Star Trek engines on like a piece of
nacelles.
old Soviet brutalism.
They're not engines, they're nacelles. Well, they do make the point in the plot that this is an old recommissioned ship.
Yeah. Oh, okay, well, so there you go. You got a little in-story explanation.
Because the interior of the ship, just like with DeFoe Manor, will not terribly reflect the outside of the ship terribly well.
I think that kind of... like, in a ship, that can kind of make sense. Like, it's less of a stretch for me to understand that a spaceship might have a bunch of identical rooms as opposed to a big stately manor.
Yeah, and all the unattributed space could just be full of components.
Yeah.
Like behind-the-scenes stuff. Infrastructure.
You need that shit. It's not just a bubble with a bunch of living spaces in it. That shit doesn't work.
Here's an incredibly yellow-headed man.
Ping!
Talking to a man with a black shiny head. It's the future. That's why they're wearing really dingy Star Trek uniforms.
I also noticed they walked up at a sensible rate. So you managed to tackle that issue.
Yeah, this was after the engine got fixed.
No more north and southward gallop, which I'll admit I missed slightly. Hi!
Hello, it's the Ego Review again. Is your mic on?
Yeah, it should be. Yeah, it's on.
Okay, just checking. Right. We are now playing 7 Days of Skeptic.
Hooray!
To my mind, the weakest of the Chzo Mythos.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the best. So I was looking forward to this.
Not really.
No, I'm not. Everything's set.
There's some extra stuff, but let's just press, let's press start game, because the extra stuff has spoilers in it, and this is your fresh perspective. So the thing to take from that is that it is the year 2385.
Oh, okay.
You know how most horror films series eventually give up and go into space? I did that kind of quickly.
To be fair, Jason X is actually a really good game, a really good movie, because it's sort of goofy. It doesn't take itself seriously.
Yeah.
There's a great scene when they're in like a holographic crystal lake.
Yeah, I like that scene.
Yeah, he's got a sleeping bag full of a girl tied to a tree and holding the other sleeping bag and just hitting one with the other, and there's just this noise, and it's very silly.
So anyway, this is 5 Days of Stranger in space.
So this is the protagonist the same guy from...
Well, that would be weird, wouldn't it? Because it's the 24th century now.
Oh, 24th. I thought you said 2040. Okay. Got that there. I don't know, maybe he got magic, and now he's alive forever. Ooh, wow, look at that.
Yeah.
Some fucking cutscene shit.
It's a spaceship with sad music over it. A lot of Event Horizon influence in all this.
Good old Event Horizon.
So what's going on here is that we're on a spaceship in the future, and we're scouting the outer regions of the known... Talk, talky, talky, talk. So this was the counsellor and the ship's physician. It's a small crew, as befits a game of this genre. This is sort of like, a history runs in cycles thing. A group of people trapped in an enclosed environment. A small group of people.
I think it's good.
So now, now you're in control.
Oh.
There's been a bit of an engine shift. Left click will only walk to things. You right click and then click what you want to do to the thing you right clicked on.
Eyes, hands and mouth and keycard.
Eyes, mouth and keycard. Eyes, hands and mouth and keyboard. Mouth and keyboard and crowbar, rope and key and face.
Finish the fuck at the moment. Okay, I will eyeball my certificates.
So we are Dr. Jonathan Somerset, the ship's counsellor.
Okay, see, I thought we were going to be the blonde guy.
No.
So that was like already like a twist for me. He left the room and then I'm like, here.
Aha, switcheroo.
Some nuts shit. Alright, can I look at my key card? Oh, there we are. Oh, cool.
Yes, you can right click on stuff to look at it.
Okay.
You can even try to look at your eyes, I think.
Alright, well that I gotta say. Alright, so you can only...
Yeah, a little bit dry, I'm afraid.
No, this is fair. Because it also gives you a clue as to what the functionality of these items is.
It's a bit of an engine issue. Should have been able to cancel out by clicking outside the window, I think.
Yeah, that...
Only realising that in retrospect. By the way, the doctor's name was Dr. William Taylor. Which is the same surname as the very yellow-headed Simone Taylor from 5 Days a Stranger.
Oh, so is that a deliberate connection?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
You want to